Steel Division 2. But let's get into this, guys, here. It's the final decider match. As tmanplays won game number 1. Everything is open in this game number 2. Hippie needs a win here so that he can get a draw in the series. If he gets that, he has won the tournament. If tmanplays gets a draw on this map, or a win, then with the win in the series, he will get the win in the tournament. So everything really comes down to this map here. And it's Black Forest, it's Hippie's favorite map. And Hippie is bringing in a really interesting division. As we can see, 3rd US, 79th and 39th band. So pretty standard bands for the current meta. And we have a pretty standard pick on the side of tmanplays as well. 7th Panzer coming in here for him. But Hippie is going quite a bit crazy, as he's bringing in 2nd UK infantry. And I'm really wanting to see what he's going to plan, and I believe we get a bit of a glimpse here already with the airborne. Oh yeah, a lot of lynxes. Oh, that seems like a build that he has prepared for the map especially. And helo-borne infantry can be quite nice on this map, so let's freaking go, guys. Yeah, whoever wins this is the winner of the February monthly. March monthly coming up and starting next week. So that's going to be cool as well. A lot of good signups there already. A lot of new faces there as well, which is really nice to see. Everybody is welcome in these monthlies. They're really the best entry place into the competitive scene. As with the Swiss style format, you get your fair share of games. You also get a fair share of balanced games due to how Swiss and the Swiss format allocates people in the later rounds. And yeah, this is going to be really, really hot. I'm absolutely hyped for this match here now, as Hippie already gives us a glimpse of craziness here. Helo-borne assault in Steel Division 2 1v1. And that's why I love Black Forest. It has a lot of ways how you can tackle this map. Let's see if this one works out. Airborne leader going for the Southern born Saxon CP. Moving around on the other side. Airmobile. Actually? Oh wow. Just flying straight? Okay. Expected it to go at least a bit like around Foxtrot and then trying to land, but no, it's just going to fly straight. Not sure how well Hippie has prepared this. Sadly, Black Forest is currently still not in a rank pool, as they messed it up a bit at Eugen. They wanted to get it in, but they must have messed something up there in the last patch. As it was supposed to come with the last bigger patch. Should come with the next one, which should come relatively soon. And then I'm really looking forward for how this map will be played in the ranked ladder, as it's just quite a wild one, but it's a pretty good one, I would say. Relatively big for a 1v1 map, obviously, but still a decent amount of zones, not too many, and obviously 2 really vocal fighting points, Charlie and Bravo, whilst you still have enough room for some shenanigans and maneuver, but it's not too hard to cover these flanks. Like, there's enough open ground where you can just put a unit and then you can spot at least when something crazy happens around these. So really nicely balanced map in my eyes, between CQC and somewhat open terrain as well. Yeah. With Bravo, CQC maybe a bit on the stronger side, thanks to Bravo being a bit easier to capture than Charlie. But we're gonna see how this goes. Yeah, this is a good amount of helo-borne infantry here, coming in quite early, trying to secure all the buildings around here. What's on the other side? What do we get? Get Spezialaufklärer. That's gonna try to get into that building as well, one going north. And then we already start with a T-72, 2 TO-55s. TO-55s obviously can be helpful here as well with different flamethrowers. And then a decent amount of ATGMs actually, 2 Conquerors. I'm a bit surprised by that, to see 2 ATGMs this early on. And this one is trying to go deep. Wow. Okay, I don't expect it to get there actually. 2 CVs on each side as well. And then a lot of slow BMPs, which won't be really helpful in countering the opener of Hippie, but might be able to push back in there right after. So let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. Yeah, Alpha. Then we might see the airborne leader going down towards Echo right after. It's supposed to land here. We'll capture this, and then we might see it just fly towards Echo, trying to capture Echo. I'm gonna see. Saxon, yeah, is taking the standard route. You want to capture Delta, just like the other side wants to capture Echo. The +2 points, quite important. Quite important. And Hippie says Integer is the one to blame for his second UK pick. I don't believe there's anyone else to blame but Hippie. But gonna see. I mean, as Derek said yesterday, second UK in general is quite versatile. It's quite a solid deck, but it's not really meta because the stronger divisions overshadow it quite a bit by now. As soon as they are in check, second UK should be fine. They are supposed to be the benchmark. Couple of infantry here and there, maybe a bit too expensive. Maybe the Shelly could still go down 5 points or so, but yeah, it has a decent combined arms. It just isn't quite having anything outstanding there. Whilst the strong divisions all have something outstanding about them. So, yeah. Let's see if the basic division can do it. Which obviously is anything but basic in its strategy in the hands of Hippie. Or if tmanplays with its absolutely fantastic 7th Panzer play can do it. As he is really, really, really strong with 7th Panzer. It's really basic play. Like, he's not doing anything fancy there, but what he's the basic play he's playing, he plays to perfection. Like, his T-72s are so hard to kill in a cost-efficient manner. T-72s, really strong beasts. He always has enough combined arms around to stop you from just abusing him with something like an air spam or just a heavy infantry blob or something like that. He always has something around to be able to prevent that. As we saw last game, he is really strong in giving ground without losing cohesion and still being able to trade effectively whilst being on the retreat and then striking back in time when it's necessary. So really interested to see how it goes here. Obviously, because the map is not a ranked pool, both players a bit less experienced on the map, which always is in favor of Hippie because his crazy play, if you haven't played against it like 20 times on the ladder already, then it's a lot harder to beat. Like, crazy play, always scarier on newer maps, on maps where you're not quite as familiar with all the spots and so on. Thanks Spitfire, thanks for the follow, welcome to the channel. Thanks for all the follows lately, guys. And yeah, if you have Twitch Prime laying around, I would be really happy if you might leave it on this channel here as well. Every subscription helps out a lot. And yeah, let's go. Lynx is flying in. Let's freaking go. Trying to get into a lot of nice spots here. SAS coming up as well. Spezialfleur is slowly moving forward. We have a Mi-24D AT actually around. SAS though, with their stingers, can deal relatively decently with helicopters. It's only one SAS around here though. The other two in the north. Fox coming around here as well. Fox actually going into the far north, where Me2 will for sure see it, but this really is the important part. 2 Gazelle rockets, good couple of air mobile gun groups and airmobiles. Mi-24D AT slowly coming in. There are AT coming around. Airmobile leader will be able to unload here in the rear. Yeah, SAS have to get out. They got a bit close. They get the stun off. Saxon does smoke for them. SAS does reload. Will get the second hit in as well, and that is really important. Mi-24D down to 1 hit point. And down a lot in cohesion. Spezialaufklärers, oh, nearly getting killed in transport. SAS will come around with another stinger. Will they finish the job? Yes, they do. That is really, really important. Phantom flying around on top of them. Mi-24D needed to deal with a lot more than that. SAS with the kill there. Absolute MVPs there for Hippie already. Hippie on a +1 due to having the side capture already done with the helo. Needs to load back in, needs to go places, I would say. First here, then maybe even try to go for Echo. CV already coming in over here. But the Charlie one has arrived for Hippie, so both sides will have one. And Hippie gets into the positions he wants to be in. He pushes back the Spezialaufklärer with the Gazelle rockets. Aeromobiles can move forward as well. Phantom is flying air patrol. It's not a great fighter whatsoever. At least its AM9Ls now deal 5 damage, which is a nice buff, but it's still by no stretch of the imagination a great air superiority fighter, as it has no guns and the missiles also relatively low in accuracy. The SAS over here gets melted. Airmobiles getting melted as well. So yeah, team in place still keeping it up. Fox in the north goes down to the Su-22. So yeah, no shenanigans up there. No SPW that gets killed. And the center now sees 2 Mi-24D AT. Phantom trying to fly around. Runs out of low on fuel though. So the Mi-24D don't have to worry about anything. And there's little AA here now. There's only the SAS currently around for Hippie. Hippie really could use something more than that. Brings in more helicopters. Airmobile trying to land over here. Airmobile gun group have the issue that they are really just a gun group. They don't have any AT weapons. The normal airmobile, fantastic, have a low AD, but currently nothing stopping these TO-55s. The airmobile leader also not having the firepower to stop this. And we see a small, slow push up the hill by Team in Place, and the traits for Team in Place in that regard currently a lot better. Lynx over here has to be careful, doesn't want to get killed by the TO-55 on the ground. Maybe wants to hover above this. As Hippie goes back to a +1. Harrier AT group can be helpful. As we have an airmobile leader going to try to get into the north. Me too, still flying around there. Milan will find the SPW. Milan's getting some nice kills, but Hippie has to be careful to stay somewhat cost efficient. Hippie here trying to move around with the... Oh, and the airmobile finds the kill onto the CV. Hippie on the +1 now. Good hit find there. SAS finds a hit onto the Mi-24D AT once more. Only having one stinger remaining though. And that one is getting a hit. Mi-24D down to 1 hit point, but not down. So yeah, great hits out of that one SAS unit. Mi-24D really under pressure. Also, Mozarov, thanks for the Twitch Prime. Ethereal Karma, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Nice to see so many new faces here. And on the Discord as well. As we have a lot of Gazelle rockets coming around. And yeah, we see Gazelle rockets being reloaded in the rear. This is going to be interesting. Airmobile leader keeping up the +1. New CV needs to come around. Airmobile doing a good job. The Law dealing fantastic damage, just not having a lot of shots. Only 4 shots. And accuracy is decent enough, but not super fantastic either. SPWs is scouting here for Team on Blaze. Doesn't see anything in Alpha. Nice early warning system. And might allow Team on Blaze to be sneaky here. As Hippie is sneaky on the other side. Will get Foxtrot with a capture there. Will get it up to a +3, and a +3 is a lot on the map with only 8 points to go around in the first place. Like, this map usually is a really slow burner due to all the points only being +1s in the center and only the 2 in the rear being +2. No +3 points whatsoever. So yeah, Hippie getting a good point advantage. 100 points on this map are worth way more than 100 points on any other map. As a +1 is only 40 points per minute. So you need 2.5 minutes to get up to 100 points with a +1 alone. And that means in the late game, Team in Place will be under pressure if Hippie has like 300, 400 points advantage and really needs to put up a big fight there to get around. Harrier with rockets coming in. Rockets still doing fantastic damage. Yeah, as you can see there, eliminating 2 infantry units immediately. Coop out of ammo in the rear, so the Harrier will survive. Me too, trying to find the airmobile. Airmobile leader flying around further. Maybe even trying to get around into Echo from this side. I don't know. I don't know what exactly Hippie's plan is here. I guess he's trying to hide it here, just flying low there in the rear. But Me Too recon helicopters trying to find him. +3 still around as we have more warriors coming in. Iltis Milan coming around, and yeah, Hippie really playing the game that he wants to play. This massive, super mobile gameplay. But I would say Team in Place still doing fair in the trades. Still having relatively decent trades. Lost another Mi-24D though. And that's obviously not great. The Javelins doing their job there. And we have a Jaguar HE coming around for the other one. And there's no AA currently stopping it. We have a couple of Strellas coming up. They're still a bit too far in the rear. Cube will maybe be able to retaliate afterwards. Oh, Jaguar not able to kill it. Strellas getting a hit, and the Cube does finish it off. So yeah, Jaguar not quite able to kill the Mi-24. And that was pretty painful there for Hippie. So traits, still, as I said, not that bad for team and plays. It's just really that the points by now are a bit of an issue. Helicopter gets found here in the rear. Airmobile leader still around though. SU-22 AT will fly towards the center. Maybe try to find something there. SAS still chilling around. And we have a Strela coming up. T-55A coming up as well. Whilst we have a T-55A Führer coming around in the center. Modschützen coming in here. Jaguar cluster coming on top of the T-72s. Not getting the cluster on target though. Good smoke, good movement from team in place. Jaguar cluster not getting the kill there. Phantom AAs flying around. Not exactly sure what their goal is. 7th maybe bringing some SUs around, but they are not here just yet. Or are they hunting the Me-2s? Oh yeah, they might be trying to hunt that. And oh, there's... thought the S2 went back home, it didn't. So yeah, they actually might try to kill that. As the Airmobile will get out of line of sight of the Me-2 again. And then the Phantoms here, with their Sky Flashes, try to get a kill onto the S-22. But as you can see, Sky Flashes struggling to get a hit. Finally get one. Can they find another one? Yes, they can. S-22 down. Phantoms starting to really pay off there. As the Hellarm is trying to move around here, trying to get some kills onto some ground-based vehicles as well. Strela obviously could deal with it potentially, but nice kill on the BMP-1 there. T-72 still in great places though. 3 T-72s absolutely outclass the M48s, and you don't want to bring a Challenger around here. So T-72s can only be beaten with other kind of weaponry, and those you first have to get into range. Strela here hitting the Hellarm now as well. So that those won't be able to deal with the T-72s, and the T-72s really starting to run in there. Rocket Gazelles once more trying to come around. Hippie under heavy pressure on the hill though. Will go down 2+1 only. And that is not where Hippie wants to be. And it seems like game number 2 is going somewhat similar to game number 1. By team and plays just getting the better traits mostly. So Hippie had some nice things going for him as well. Still has the CV in the corner there, up north. Where Mi-24D AT is now on the hunt though. And the Airmobile will have a rough time to survive. And team in place now is on the +1. That +1 will take a long time to get up to the 500 points. But Hippie is pushed out of Bravo. Is not really having the push power to get into Charlie. And will have a rough time to get back in here. Airmobile's trying to get some kills. Oh, we had some movements in the south. Airmobile's getting in here, molesting the T-72M there, but not quite finding the kill. And we have some helicopters coming around here for this as well. Helicopter getting shut down by the S-22. North we have an SAS coming around, killing off a recon helicopter. That's nice. It doesn't allow the S-22 to shoot it down, but SAS won't be able to capture this point. Good couple of javelins coming in around here as well. Yeah, he really wants to get rid of these helicopters, and that shenanigans around the flank obviously still super scary for team and plays. And it will take him more than 10 minutes to catch up to Hippie with this +1 currently. So Hippie has a good bit of time till he has to get some scoring onto the board again. But his position around Bravo is really, really bad now. Like, he has basically no ground combat forces whatsoever around here. 4 Gazelle rockets, which are not fantastic. And yeah, 2 javelins against currently only 1 Mi-24D. And no great spot for a javelin either, as the javelin is a direct guiding system, so it needs constant line of sight there. Can be shot back at in the meantime and might lose aim at this point. SU-22 with Napalm trying to deal with the Milan 1 over here. SAS finds a hit, but doesn't find a kill, as there's a second hit missing. As the Phantoms come around to stay around. Gazelle's coming in the rear as well. Saxon CP actually will try to go for the north. Might be able to create stalemate once more, but won't capture it, as there's a T-55 leader, there's a T-72 leader as well. So yeah, two different kind of tank leaders. That's quite interesting by tmanplays. On top of the SPW leader that we already saw at the beginning. One of those is down. Whilst we have TO-55s moving north. We have Strellas coming in. A lot of stuff coming in general. And we could potentially see tmanplays also pushing for Alpha. There's nothing stopping him from just moving the T-72 in there and capturing Alpha. And then Hippie would be under a lot of trouble. Like, fighting for Alpha really not on his menu right now. So, tmanplays really could open up the space there. As Hippie has a decent amount of point advantage right now, but it's starting to melt away. He has a CV on the way for the north. Trying to get in there. He has a good couple of Lynx infantry here coming in once more as well. But nothing around here. And there is more stuff needed there. Gazelle rockets can't really come forward. Well, the Strela is out of ammo. Actually, they couldn't come forward at the moment, but there's nothing to spot for them outside of the Gazelle recon. T-72s around everywhere. There's really no infantry here for Hippie to hold the line whatsoever. And tmanplays doing a fantastic job playing cost efficiently here now. Bringing in 720 for the south. Bringing in another recon helicopter. Once the T-72M is repaired, he might just really start slowly rolling in there. Yes, the airmobile tried to kill the BMP. Didn't succeed, as they did miss, and they don't have any ammo anymore. And we have some Terrier AT group. That's decent. They have a Carl Gustav. They did do some shots, but they won't win the fight. Might get really annoying if they can get around there. And Hippie does stop the take. That's him staying on a decent point advantage. 25 minutes remaining on still though, so tmanplays has a good amount of time there to start to push Hippie back there in the north. Javelins and SAS trying to come around. Chinook supply helicopter actually coming in. Mi-24D AT will find some shots onto some airmobiles. Jaguar cluster coming in for the TO-55s. That's nice. That might be a kill. tmanplays reacting pretty slowly there and loses both to the Jaguar. Jaguar really starting to pay off, and that means that the northern stalemate might be there longer than tmanplays hoped for. And good play there by Hippie. Really showing that he absolutely understands how these kind of interactions work and how he can keep some tick like this for longer. That's why he's always scary when he is in a point advantage, because your CVs have to be really, really careful in how they maneuver, but they still have to get there in time, obviously. Ooh, Chinook gets killed off by the Su-22M on the ground there. ATGM did fly directly into it. Did deal a lot of damage. Javelins didn't quite retaliate there. SAS at least got reloaded, I believe. Yes, SAS got reloaded with stingers, but the Chinook still not quite worth it. And the situation itself might deteriorate soon. Fox at least came in, will spot all of this. T-72 leader coming in and so on. So at least Hippie will have an early warning about all of this. But tmanplays getting into Alpha will be really, really bad for Hippie. Phantoms flying around here. Harriers coming in as well. Nothing spotting the T-55A there. As tmanplays has a good amount of forces all around. Harrier AT in a good spot. Can potentially snipe some coops. That would be good. Good of the MTLBs. No, it's firing on the MTLBs first. Let's see if tmanplays spots this. First MTLB goes down. With 8 shots. That's quite nice for the Carl Gustav team. Gets the second one. Coop will try to retreat, but shot goes out and shot finds a kill. Coop goes down. Nice kill here for the Terrier AT group. That's obviously a super cheap unit, 25 points, killing off 150 points there. And calling back a Mi-24D into defense mode. Yeah, Javelin's retreating here. Gazelles got pushed back even further. As the T-72 killed off the Fox down here. CP coming in for Hippie, but he has to be careful. I believe that one was supposed to go towards Echo. Now it has to be used defensively, but you don't want to just move in there. Otherwise it might get sniped, and Hippie needs to have a good amount of CPs in his deck. Otherwise this play just doesn't work out. Tmanplays now on the +1, on the +2 in a second once this goes deeper. And yeah, no, that Saxon should not go in there, Hippie. You need to get it the hell out of there as soon as possible, otherwise we'll get killed off quite quickly. Hell Arms coming around now, that's nice, but he should have waited for them before moving in the Saxon. As we have stuff moving forward there towards the CP. Tmanplays now on the +1 again. North is still heavily fought over. Mi-24D AT chilling around there. SU-22 AT coming in for Tmanplays. Will try to snipe that. Terriers and airmobiles not working out really here for Hippie either in the center. They are just flying in there into Bravo, not achieving much. SU-22 trying to find the Saxon. Currently not quite finding it, but might find the Harrier in return. Harrier eats a missile. Heavily damaged. Phantoms coming around though. Those obviously can be really dangerous. We saw them doing good stuff earlier. They need a lot of missiles on target, but it is in range now of its Sidewinders, and it gets a hit. Gets the kill. Sky Flashes and Sidewinders fired off there. Saxon CP still alive. Hellarm and some airmobiles for behind it coming around now in the south, and that actually might allow Hippie to neutralize this point again. Or fully capture that point again. As we have another SU-22 coming around. If the Saxon gets killed, that obviously would be really, really bad for Hippie. Before he can kill off the T-72. Hellarm will try to do that surrender just now. But SU-22 coming in with cluster. And should be faster. Yes, Saxon goes down. Will be a +2 here for Tmanplays. That's 80 points. And obviously the loss of the CV is also really, really big. Airmobile leader is around, but that will still take a while. Phantom trying to hunt down the SU-22. Can it find some missile connections? Skyflash does not get the job done. Harrier rockets trying to come around here. Yeah, CV goes down. T-72 is killed. Tmanplays losing an important CV as well, but he has 2 in the center here actually. Yeah, he has one over here. Wait, did I just mislook? Took one? No, he has 1 in the center. Okay, but yeah, 1 over there, 1 in the north, 3 on the battlefield, +2. That's 80 points per minute. That's a decent-ish advantage. Jaguar trying to go for the Mi-24D. Struggling to get on target though, with the rocks in the way. Mi-24D flying around, moving forward, pushing towards the airmobiles. Mi-24D also hitting some of the enemy helicopter, and the +2 does keep on ticking. Less than 3 minutes away now for Tmanplays to have back the advantage in this game, and also Tmanplays with a great amount of forces in the north. M48's trying to get in there, but there's a good amount of Mod-Schützen, there's a good amount of BMP-1s and TO-55s, which should be capable of dealing with the M48s. The track drop here obviously nice to deal with the Mi-24D AT. Airmobile gun groups, not that fantastic. Can deal relatively decently with infantry, but obviously not great against anything armored. And Tmanplays now up to 400 points, keeps up the pressure. Airmobile leader slowly moving south here for Hippie. Might want to get this airmobile leader back into this links and fly it over the hill. Would be a lot faster than just walking there. And yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do now. Phantoms coming around. Rocket Apache coming in as well. SU-22 Napalm trying to come in for the CV in the north. It's moving out. That means an even longer time here for Tmanplays. Even better take. As he is up to a +3 now. And that means less than a minute away from getting ahead of Hippie in points. And he only needs a draw, as I said before. Airmobile gun group not gonna get on top of this TO-55. Plane trying to come in here. It's a cluster Jaguar. But that is now bombing blindly. The TO-55, T-55A is not being spotted by anything. And yeah, these guys are slowly walking. Even plays now above 500. Cluster doesn't hit the T-55. S-22 cluster on the other side. Rapier really late with the shot, not getting the hit. SAS getting under fire. Javelin all down. So even with the tracked Rapier getting a hit, that SU-22 will get out. If the Javelins would have still been around, one hit would have been enough of those to get the kill, but they don't do it. And then now the +3 has propelled tmanplays ahead, and tmanplays will most likely be the winner of the match. I really start to struggle to see what Hippie can do about it. He tried to be fancy, he tried to be cool, it was fun to watch, but tmanplays just absolutely keeping his play together, slowly pushing him out of Bravo. Well played there. Not losing cohesion on any on the flanks either. Always bringing the exact amount that he needed to push Hippie back out. And that kind of play of Hippies is not cost efficient. So a late game based on it, if you didn't get any sneaky advantages early on, is just so hard. B24 DAT will get killed off. He did it in earlier games, and maybe with a kill on the enemy CVs, he can still do it. Like if he starts to snipe CVs and then somehow gets his into the enemy, he potentially still can do it. Brings down tmanplays to a +1, but it's already now over 100 points advantage for tmanplays, and it's just continuously taking here. Well, area rocket moves around. We'll try to deal damage over here. Links us in the rear. As we have a Challenger Mark II CV coming in through the south. Yeah, Mod Schützen sitting around here. Carriers trying to come in. Drop here, not finding anything. SAS will be pushed back, so capturing the north, basically impossible at this stage. Getting back into Bravo, basically impossible. The only kind of play I see is going for Echo, but then you still need to hold it for a while by now, as tmanplays once more is just getting too far ahead in points. Lynx flying around, trying to spot stuff. Good amount of Strellas coming around, like tmanplays just needs to secure all of the advantages he has now, as they are basically all in his favor by now. So yeah, second UK has some decent units, has with the Lynx a nice transport helicopter, Airmobiles good infantry, but they are still relatively expensive there to bring in that way. And Hippie is just really keeping up the pressure. It's not really under pressure, as tmanplays really keeps on finding ways of pushing Hippie back and getting this point advantage. That Foxtrot point is chilled now. The Alpha Conquest was nice. The Alpha Conquest was really nice. Like, checking for that is what makes him such a good player. Like, other players under the barrage of Hippie's aggression would have just turtled. Tmanplays did play defensively in the middle, but he at the same time already checked out, hey, you are throwing everything at me here and here and here. I bet you don't have anything on the side. He checked for it. He didn't just gamble into it. Checked for it with his cheap transport unit. And then he followed it up with the push at the right time. Get a nice point advantage to force Hippie to invest way more than Hippie wanted to into the southern part. So Hippie has basically lost anything, any pressure that he ever had on Bravo. So that means Hippie needs to capture other points around the map. And that is just so tough at this stage in the game on this map. Capturing points late is just a really tough job. So the capture of Bravo, fantastically done, and really the thing that tmanplays needed here in this match. And it's not that easy to do with a Panzer division. It's obviously more of an infantry terrain, but he still used the T-72s really fantastically. His infantry fights also went really nice. And yep, he's now over 200 points ahead. And that is really good for him. Hippie will try to do some shenanigans in the south. Challenger Mark II trying to run in, but the amount of defenses that tmanplays already has erected here should just keep that away. Conquerors, Mod Schützen, me too. Good couple of stuff coming in the rear. T-72s. UWATs with E-Glass. Coop. All that good stuff. We have some Foxes, some Gazelles. And all that those things coming in. Carrier. Gauging through Self Clever. But the +1 is taking for tmanplays. And it is going to continue to take here for the foreseeable future. Don't see there being a CV for the north. Hippie down to 3 CVs. Could load in this one potentially, but the Challenger one will become a vocal point of interest of tmanplays soon, and then an SU-22 or so should be able to kill it. There's no support for this thing whatsoever, and it's only a Challenger. There's a hell of a lot of T-72s rolling in now, and which also potentially should be able to just push this out. There's a Chelly now for Hippie there as well. Good couple of BMP-1s, but tmanplays really, really smooth in this game. Carrier versus Spitzelflare going on. Spitzelflare do win the job. And we are now at the 300 point mark. And 300 points means that even with +1, Hippie would really struggle at this stage to get it back. With 11 minutes remaining. Conquerors flying here towards the Chelly. Chelly keeps on moving for now, but there's a Mi-24P. Will now fire on some units around it. Conquerors will get the first hit, will get a damage. It's obviously not much, but it will start to whittle the Challenger down. SU-22 with its cluster finishes it off. That leaves only 2 CVs now on the battlefield for Hippie. 2 CVs on this map, not enough to do anything offensive with. You can contest Bravo and so on. The CV in the south not even having a transport though. So tmanplays 340 points up now. And keeps on ticking. So really, really, really well done by tmanplays here. Absolutely smooth play with the division that he is currently the best without in my eyes. His 7th Panzer play is freaking fantastic. Really can't wait to see him in future tournaments. Next March tournament, and especially WARNO League Season 1 when that comes around. At launch of the game. SU-22M Napalm coming up here, trying to deal with Terriers. Terriers under fire. Getting napalmed. Challenger will get clustered. Doesn't quite get hit. Good move there by Hippie. Smoking and then moving forward at the edge of the smoke. Good way of dodging cluster usually. But outside of that, Hippie has nothing going for him in this game whatsoever anymore. Terrier AT here is nice and nasty, but without CVs, he just can't capture it. Mobile leaders will now do the slow walk of shame here, but they will actually take 8 minutes or 9 minutes here to get there. At which stage tmanplay will be so far ahead in points that it absolutely will not matter. SU-22M4 once more coming around for Challenger. T-72s coming in big numbers. Challenger will get under fire. Not enough AA around to stop the SU-22. Tractor up here, trying its best. Will get the kill, but the Challenger is down, and that means T-72s have a lot more room for maneuver. The Milans still dealing some good defensive damage. Phantoms are around, but it's now 400 points, and we only have 9 minutes remaining. So the time is really running out here. And I would say this is basically it. Like, with 2 CVs, I just don't see how Hippie potentially could get them into enough spots that he gets himself a +2, which he will need at this point to get the W. +2 just seems basically impossible. We have more units coming in, and yeah, the British, it's a cool playstyle. I really like the base playstyle here of Hippie. I would say the execution was not quite stellar around here. Like, he had the early advantage that he wanted, he still was not able to bring it home. tmanplays was still able to use his tanks there efficiently and so on. His real-line shenanigans did do enough, I would say, but he never kept the front line cohesive enough to bring it home. Spitzelflare is in the north. under fire by warriors and armored rifles. Harriers moving up there as well. Harrier G3s flying around. We have another rocket too. Harrier trying to find something to shoot at. But there is really not much of a target because Hippie is pretty blind by now as well. No recon unit anywhere. And Modschützen engaging the Helm over here. Yes. We are really closing in on the 500 points with only 7 minutes remaining. Hippie desperately trying to find something to do, but there just absolutely isn't. Rocket Harriers trying to find a way in. Coop will fire though. Will start to put some pressure on. SU-22 napalm coming around. 2 cluster bombers on the other side. Okay, that's nice. T-72 under fire. First one gets killed. Second, the BMP-1 gets killed as well. +1 keeps on ticking as we are about to go up to 500 points here for team in place. Hippie under pressure still. Modschützen engaging the Helm. BMP-1 could push up the pressure in the rear. The airmobile still moving around here. Okay, he will try to get it into the links, but I'm not sure how he wants to get it anywhere afterwards. Like, there's trellas everywhere. Team in Plays obviously knows that Hippie will try to go for this here in the south, potentially gets tanks in there, and then might be able to just counter push into the other direction. Doesn't have a CV himself, so Team in Plays might be down to 3 CVs himself as well, as we have a good amount of airmobiles and AT groups here around. But even if he loses this, even if the T-55A gets sniped, and then Hippie is able to get his CV in there, would still only be a +1 for Hippie, and that's just not enough anymore with 5 minutes remaining. Modschützen holding the line over here. T-72's chilling out, and Hippie is not giving up. He really tries to get some game out of into this again, whilst Team in Place is opening another front up in Charlie. Getting some smokes, keeps on pushing there. T-72 is all needing in repairs though, so they can't support the push right now, which is an issue. That's a massive issue here for Team in Place. Whilst we have a Mi-24D AT coming around, BMP-1 and another CV actually. So there is one more CV here for Team in Place, and that really should silence any doubts, as when that gets down here, like, it just locks down this as well. So even if Hippie dips in the airmobile, he won't capture it. He won't get a +4. He won't get a +3. That's what he needs. So yeah, killing it and getting his CV in there, the chances for that are so unlikely. Strela might go down here. That might be a good kill. Like, good maneuvering here from Hippie once more, but his front line is just in too much of a shambles to really allow for anything. 4 minutes 30 remaining. He is desperately trying. There's all rockets coming around. As we have a lot of Lynxes being stacked back there. Challenger Mark II trying to come in. Zell just sitting there. North is relatively nicely fortified as well. Armored rifles and IVs. Warriors slowly rolling in. Iltis Milans, like, Hippie is just throwing anything he has onto the front. Airmobiles will try to get in here, as Mi-24Ds will try to stop it. Airplanes obviously potentially could come in to kill this off as well. Airmobile already down to 4 hit points. Have to be really careful. Crew injured here, that's nice. Airmobile under pressure once more, as the Mi-24D AT does move forward. And CV is loading back into the links, waiting for the Mi-24D piece to be hit. Moves out again, at least stops the bleed, but that's not quite what Hippie is asking for. He needs way more than that. Like, if he would have captured this, then somehow be able to dip down here, capture this as well, and then get a +5. That obviously would have been quite something, but Team in Place just too strong, too stable for a move like this at this stage. As Hippie never whittled him down and forces enough to allow for these kind of flanking maneuvers. SU-22 Napalm coming in. Actually will wipe out the CV. Will bring back the +1 for team in place and will end the dreams of Hippie once and for all. +1 keeps on ticking, over 600 points. Really, really well played by team in place. Absolutely smooth game out of him. And absolutely well deserved victory in this monthly tournament. 4 wins, 8 maps won, only 1 map draw, and that was an insane draw against Fantix, so really worthy of the title here in this monthly tournament. Well played. Really looking forward for what we see from him in the next couple of days and in the next couple of patches and tournaments. As his play is just so slick. And also obviously looking forward to whatever Hippie can come up with in the next couple of patches, in the next tournaments. Always lovely to see him, but this time he found his master. Team play is just that bit too solid in his play here. And again on one, Hippie tried to play normal, tried to play his relatively standard but aggressive playstyle, and Team Plays was just slapping it back as well. Really well defended there by Team Plays, and this was a great monthly tournament. I enjoyed all the games I watched, but Team Plays absolutely deserving here in this victory. Really, really well played. Harrier rocket coming in. We'll try to find some kills here. Gets killed off by the cubes. Nicely done. Challenger trying to move around. 50 seconds remaining, but this is just so over. Team Plays once more will have a great KD here as well. Hippie is just not trading fantastically. Got some nice rear kills and so on, so the KD might not be quite as damning as last game. He did a bit more... he had a bit more success on the flanks and so on, but it should still be a really good one for Team Plays here, with 25 seconds remaining. Hippie once more. Playing it out to the end. 20 seconds now, as he is bringing in some Terry AT groups. 1,250 points versus 848. More than 700 points, even though it was mostly on a slow take in the end by Team in Place. He really, really made it work here. That was a absolutely fantastic game. GGVP, Team in Place, is the winner of the February monthly, and really well deserved. Really, really cool games. Absolutely enjoying whenever Team in Place plays. He is perfect educational material for how to play this game if you just want to play stock standard, and he plays the cool division